going on, guys? Just got back to PSP Diesel to pick my truck up, and they're done with everything, and it feels great. They've installed this LiveWire tuner, which is looking really good. They fixed pretty much everything up, even my door handles. I mean, tons of suspension work, new shocks, everything. So, really, really great shop. So far, the truck feels amazing. The guys are all really friendly and really know what they're doing. I'm gonna do a good amount of driving in this truck soon, so we're gonna see how it holds up, but so far I'm very excited. These guys even gave me a bunch of swag. Super cool. I got the truck back home. Everything looks pretty good. I'll show you a couple of the things we did. So this is a coolant filter, which can be shut off over here, and then you can change out this oil filter effectively. But it filters coolant from casting sand that's kind of in the block, and I guess that causes a lot of the clogging issues on these. We also replaced that pigtail so it doesn't come off again. You know, we got a new one on there. Before it would pop off and then you'd lose boost except for full throttle. You know, some of this hardware is new. So here you can see the mic I wired up to capture some of the turbo sound that we'll have under the hood. And we're gonna go for a little drive. There's those headlights we did in another episode. Link is in your corner. You can check that out. These mirrors are pretty cracked. This one's actually not too bad. The other one's worse. And I have two new ones, and they're not gonna be chrome, they're gonna be black. So we got new shocks, front and rear. There's the new turbo back exhaust. So really, because this exhaust comes with a muffler, it didn't really get a whole lot louder at idle or even like just driving around. But whenever you're on the throttle, all you hear is like turbo screaming out of there. It's pretty fun. So the door handles are now fixed. Really, the truck cleans up pretty good. There's those taillights we did. I am installing a reverse camera here. I just haven't done all the final wiring yet. So over here, we did fix the parking brake. Both cables had to be replaced. We've got that LiveWire tuner that I mentioned earlier. And I did just install this Pioneer head unit, which has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Oh, and let me show you how we're capturing the exhaust. There's the transmitter right there. Mic's hidden right here, so I'm hoping that eliminates a lot of the wind, but gets us a lot of that turbo whistle. There's the new head unit. So it's a Pioneer. I'll get you the exact model in the description. But the cool thing is that this thing has Android Auto and it has Apple CarPlay. You know, you can move around. It's all touchscreen. You can mute your calls. You could play, you know, whatever you want to play on here. Play for whatever reason doesn't let you use it unless you have the handbrake on. I just wire the handbrake to a ground. The handbrake sensor wire to a ground. Definitely, if you get one of these, just maybe I had a setting wrong somewhere. You guys tell me in the comments. Audi does not do this in any way, but this thing, it won't even let you access CarPlay at all unless you have the parking brake on. So, like, literally, I wouldn't be able to use the navigation unless I did this. It's super stupid. I don't know why it's like that, but I did also pre-wire everything for, I just tucked it in here for now, for a reverse camera. But the cool thing is I don't have to take this thing out again. Everything's already pre-wired. I just have to figure out how to run it to the tailgate. We did replace this module right here for the trailer brake. And now that we have better light, check out this LiveWire thing. It's pretty nifty. It gets you all your stats. And these are kind of the important things to watch. Now, we did install an exhaust gas temperature probe, which is read as an analog input number 7. You'll see it in the middle top square. It's reading about 360 right now. And that, I was told, you don't want to really be at like high numbers, like close to 1500 degrees. You don't want to be there for very long. This thing is much, much quicker now. I was getting a solid 8-second 0 to 60. That's down from about 10 seconds. And that's just on the basic street tune that they preloaded. I know it can go faster than that, and I'm not really even getting that good of a launch or anything. That was like not even trying. And this thing has a performance mode. If you haven't used one of these live wires, I'll show you that really quick. There is like a performance suite in here. And you basically pick the tests you want to do, and then it'll run them for you. And it's pretty fun to do. And obviously the program vehicle lets you do all your tuning and all that good kind of stuff. Anyhow, guys, let's take this thing for a spin, and I'll show you what it sounds like now. It's such a beast. So much fun to drive. And it rolls coal. Did I mention it rolls coal? It rolls coal, guys. All right, let's start heading out of here. So I was just checking out the turbo whistle out of the exhaust in my monitor, and man, it sounds really good. I'm hoping it's not too loud and not gonna clip. Well, guys, test driving the truck was really fun. I love the way it smokes. I need to try some of the other tune settings. I'm sure there's a more powerful one in there. I was reading the instructions. I decided to pull all the cars out because I'm going to work inside the garage. I need to get the kayak mounted on the ceiling. And it's like a mini car show out here. Got the M3, the Daily Driver A4, and of course the Beast Mustang. We really need to get a bumper on this thing. Can't wait till I got the mystery car out here. All right, I've been cleaning up a little in here, but we need to get this thing mounted up on the ceiling here. I gotta figure out how that's gonna fit. For now, let me show you some other stuff I got going on. So I was drinking a couple of beers and browsing Amazon the other day, you know, the usual, and I ended up buying a whole bunch of tools. Something interesting for the toolbox because people have complained that my tools aren't that great, and I admit I have a lot of Harbor Freight stuff. Usually what I do is once I kind of start chewing through tools, I tend to go out and find something a little better. Some tools from Harbor Freight seem to hold up. I mean, you know, hate it if you will, but they do. So I've always kind of had cheapo screwdrivers, and to be fair, screwdrivers usually work, but you will note that the cheap ones can mangle things a little more easier, and I noticed that on my drill, that when I got a better set of bits, it was a lot better to work on stuff without stripping it. So I decided to get some better screwdrivers. These are Tecton screwdrivers. They're supposedly made in the USA. The quality seems pretty good, you know, as far as the screwdriver goes. Then I also got a bunch of Orbis German kind of hand tools, pliers, you know, for cutting wire and, you know, whatever general purposes, like these snibs for steel wire from Orbis. The Orbis tools are actually really high quality. The fitment is really, really good. One thing that's really cool is this this plier here. It is really well made. Like it doesn't have a ton of slop in it. Like normally these things, you know, you kind of hate these things because they're all over the place and you can't really use them. But these are excellent. So finally, kind of the showpieces of what I bought, these Wera Zyklop ratchets. This is a 3/8. Here is the 1/2. And these are really cool. The build quality is just terrific. You know, it's very, very nice stuff. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put all these tools away and then we'll hang our kayak. I'm not gonna do a whole instructional on hanging the kayak. This isn't a kayak channel, but I still wanted to show you guys what it looked like when it got done because I think it's part of my garage. So guys, this is the kayak hoist that I installed. Due to the size of my kayak, it doesn't really go that high. I think I can maybe play with the straps and get it a little bit closer to the ceiling, but that's kind of it. You know, nothing sporty should really have a problem getting under there. And I should still be able to back the truck up under it and drop it right into the truck. Of course, all of this is lagged into a joist that's running up there. So in theory, you know, they're claiming this is gonna hold 120 pounds. The quality of this kit's a little questionable. It's, you know, clearly some Chinese nonsense. So this is actually the brand that I got. It's the Rad Sports Easy Kayak Hoist. I think it's time we fix the mirrors on the truck. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it in. So guys, the plan is to figure out how to remove this mirror, and I think we just need to pop this thing off. I mean, unless that's these things here, but I think, yeah, it might be these grommets. So I think we just pry this sucker off. Oh, it's an 11. So I think these two holes. With the windows down, I should be able to hold and unscrew. This is going to be an interesting procedure. Oh wow, that one's not screwed in. Okay guys, so that explains it. It's not screwed in. So apparently the harness goes like deep inside the door somewhere or something. So it seems like we do have to mess with the door trim. I can't get the little wire out. So we need to start popping this stuff off, and I'm kind of hoping it's not going to be too laborious. I've never really taken apart doors on this kind of truck, so if I'm doing stuff that's weird, you guys tell me in the comments, but I'm just trying to figure this out. There's a little bolt in here, and I can't tell, maybe it's a 7mm. Yeah, 7 mil. I don't see any other screws anywhere. So typically what I should be able to do is just pull this out or up. Maybe this doesn't come off. Maybe this is a single piece. So I've been checking this thing out, and it looks like there's a little notch. So I'm thinking that that's for like a screwdriver. Boom, and of course there's another little, I guess 7 mil is what we figured out. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt that. I think I should probably go ahead and unclip these. And those are in there. Whew. I guess it's been many years since this was assembled. So I'm wondering if this whole thing just... That's actually pretty cool. Well guys, if you wanted to see inside of a Ford door, I think I have to take that speaker off. All right, so we're gonna switch to 5.5 mil, and we're gonna undo all of these. Well, now I know the speakers are really easy to get to. It'll take me all of like 5 minutes to replace them. These are kind of, let's just say they don't sound that great. I mean, this is OEM AF. Nobody's ever touched this. So guys, and according to analytics, at least one girl, might be my mom, that is what we're looking for. So we're gonna unclip that. All right, guys, so we're gonna take the new mirror. I'm gonna try to feed this. You're gonna wanna put this backing plate on. So I'm holding this in place, and I'm reaching around with my other hand, and I'm gonna thread on if I can. I have to say that's hard because you're sticking your fingers in this little tiny well, and I almost dropped that little sucker. Now that we're over here, the important thing is to make sure we can fish that wire to the right spot. So mine kind of fell all the way to the bottom. So guys, again, once you've popped it through, hey, and I have to say, that's much faster than the one I had. We might have fixed more than just a cosmetic issue. So I'm actually excited that I have to tear the door apart, because on my driver's door, I've been getting this horrible rattle, and I don't know what it is. I suggest just not a lot of torque, just take your time. Probably a good excuse to use my fancy new ratchet. Fanciest ratchet I've ever owned. Now we should be able to just pop everything back in. So if you guys remember, speaker clipped in, something like that. And then I'm definitely getting new speakers now that I know how easy that's gonna be. This AV stuff for cars is so cheap now because everything's integrated. You know, my Audi, you're never gonna buy anything for your Audi. I saw the AV section for cars at Best Buy the other day. Or not Best Buy, I'm sorry, it was at Fry's. I was at Fry's. They don't lock anything up or anything anymore. It's just some weird, bizarre Mad Max land of just people doing whatever the hell they want, like tearing through stuff like nobody cares. It's just considered garbage now. And rightfully so. I mean, Nobody really needs this stuff anymore except people with older vehicles that can probably just get everything online like I've ended up doing, because it makes sense. I'm sure they're not restocking any inventory. It's like whatever they got is probably what they got. All right, with the speaker in, let's throw the door panel back on. So guys, basically when you put this in, you're gonna wanna aim these hooks. And the goal is to make sure that all these hooks in the bottom here, that they went in, and it sure looks like they did. We'll switch back to our 7mm, get this little guy in there. Honestly, one of the easiest door trim jobs I've ever done. I have been finding that these HD trucks, or SD in this case, they're kind of meant to be serviceable. Makes sense. These things, after all, do end up being fleet vehicles for, construction and everything else. They're workhorses. I'm sure somebody who does a lot of diesel mechanic work with these probably is going to tell me, like, no, you're insane. These things are horrible. There's 19 things you don't know about them that are really hard to do. And you're going to be right. I'm sure, like all cars, this thing has foibles, and I'm sure I will discover what all of them are as I use the vehicle. It looks like... So I just realized this thing is broken. I haven't really spent too much time, and I definitely didn't break it because I don't see the spare piece of plastic. I'm sure somebody messed with this door before. So I didn't really spend a lot of time, but I did kind of notice some of the trim's loose, and this explains why. So we're going to bodge it with a little bit of 3M tape. It's 3M tape's the new duct tape, don't you know? If you remember, I barely touched it and it flew out. And wow, that's solid. Oh man, I'm definitely digging the black look way more than the chrome look. Here's what the chrome one looks like. So I don't know, you guys tell me, chrome or black? Let me know in the comments. So I got black headlight trim instead of chrome headlight trim. I mean, there's still chrome in there, but this, I'm talking about this outside. I kind of wish it was just all black, but I guess you need the chrome for reflective material. But I think with that, the black mirror looks way cooler. And that's not discoloration, that's just my dirty fingerprints all over it. I'll wipe it up. The one last thing we gotta do is close this up. So we're gonna take a couple of grommets, squeeze those in there. Then we're gonna take this bad boy. Boom. That's donezo, guys. I am a dirty, rotten liar. We're not done. Now we're done. So guys, if you want to do mirrors on this thing, I think you should go for it. Super easy, one of the easiest jobs you can do. I'm sure everything still works. I'll test out the speaker in a second. One thing to keep in mind is just being a little careful with all the plastic so you don't break stuff, because these are getting old. It's a little better being an 07. I think kind of towards the end of the 2000s, some of these guys kind of started to figure out what they're doing. It's still, I could see a lot of things cracking just from age and inflexibility. So just keep it in mind. It's an 11-year-old truck now. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I'm not going to show you how to do that. You already know how to do it. Okay, I got all the cars back in the garage. Here's what things kind of look like. There's the good old kayak. I ended up flipping the BMW around and kind of piling everything over there. It's kind of nice. You get a nice little walkway in front. And because it's spun around, you can open that door as long as, you pull this car through. This is a good space where I might either keep that new car I'm getting, or maybe I'll put it behind the Mustang. But there's lots of room in here, especially once some of these projects start cleaning up. I did also get these things. The Mustang, once it's settled, is actually a little too low for the lift. So these pads here, I haven't really tested them out yet. I'm hoping they're not going to slide around. Still need to install the fish finder in the kayak. Still need to get my gauges in the Mustang. Still need to install the clutch spring kit too. But I'm really excited, and I can't wait to show you guys what other car I got. I'm not really even sure what I'm exactly going to do with it yet. So I'd love your guys' input on that. If you guys like this video and you want to see more, remember to click the subscribe button. Also, like and comment on my video. I really appreciate it.